Welcome back. We are still talking high school football, and we had a pretty good matchup over in Dagsboro as Indian River was hosting Woodbridge. The Blue Raiders actually had a 13-0 lead at the break, but the Indians, well, they came back in the second half. George Martin right there punches that thing in from 2 yards out, and IR not done yet. This time, Keontae Sturgis able to break a long one. This one good for 50 yards, takes it to the house right there, puts Indians up 1. And then they would put this thing on ice. Kewan Major, that is, takes this one in from 20 yards out. He had yet another huge day in the backfield. IR snaps that losing skid as they take down Woodbridge 28-13 the final.
And what a game over in Georgetown as Sussex Central hosted the Dover Senators. Defense for the Golden Knights was on point. Huge interception by Justin Revel. Score remained the same, 21-7 in the third quarter, but the Senators not backing down. And get out of the way because Laquan Moody is coming and went all the way to the house with that one, 85 yards. Dover cutting Central's lead. That would bring the score 21-14. And in the 14th quarter, the game continues. Devin Laughlin punched that one in, and we got a game here. All the Senators needed to do was get the extra point to tie things up 21-21 to maybe bring it into overtime. But here, a bad snap. That would be a bad memory for Dover as Sussex Central defeats them 21-20.
That is a tough way to lose a ball game. Well, we had a good matchup just down the road from here when Washington was taking on Arcadia. Defensive battle in the first half, and check out this incredible interception by Rayshawn Fitzgerald. One-handed, tips it to himself, and somehow gets Boltos inbounds. Just an absolutely ridiculous play right there. That would set up this field goal attempt, but it gets pushed wide left, no good. Scoreless at halftime, but no worry because the Jags defense, well, it turned up in the second half. Firebirds just could not get anything going. Washington takes this one 19-7.
And Thursday night action for the Stephen Decatur Seahawks, who were hosting Y-High, started off with Jason Patterson finding his way through the line for a 5-yard quarterback sneak. Indians on the board first, 6-0. Seahawks with the ball now, and look at Deontay Baines. He goes. He finds the hole and somersaults his way into the end zone for a 19-yard touchdown. Ties the game up 6-6. But on Thursday, the Indians looking to make noise at Seahawks Stadium. Justin Meekins threw that one right into the hands of Raycon McCarter. A pick six, 55 yards, and the Y-High Indians defeat the Stephen Decatur Seahawks 40-12.
And Snow Hill was taking on Parkside. Parkside capped off a long driver here when Rodney Dawson is able to keep his legs going. Just breaks the plane right there. That's good for the score. The Eagles were actually in danger of getting shut out in this one, but they answer it right here. Josh Coleman finds his man, Matt Johnson. That's from 70 yards out, catch and run. Good for the score. But this one was all Rams. They just ran out the clock, pick up a very impressive win. How about this one for a final score? 51-6 there. And wow, what a week of high school football. Those were just part of the games that we had.
Trey Miles is here, and it looks like the playoff contenders have made their statements. Week 7 in high school football is done.
That's right, Giselle. Week 7 is over, and what a week it was. Let's kick it over to our high school scoreboard. Let's give it up, first of all, for the Milford Bucks. They get their first win of the year, shutting out Seaford 21-0. Cambridge just absolutely destroys Bennett 49-20. Cambridge now 5-1 on the season. How about Kent County pulling off the huge upset, taking down Queen Anne's 21-15, and Nandua, of course, we can't forget about. They top Colonel 46-26. Finishing up, Kent Island suffers their first loss of the season, but there's no shame in losing to Maryland Powerhouse 3A. Fort Hill 38-13, and the Delmar Wildcats try to get rolling. They take their third straight. They down Mount Pleasant 33-6. Well, week 7 we saw some great action and a little bit of the unexpected. A couple of upsets have shaken up this week's power rankings. In Maryland, Easton checks in at number 5. I know I'll get slack for this, but I want to say I know the Warriors are 6-1, but if they keep playing defense the way they have, I can totally see them ending at 6-4. Not to mention Y-High beat them, hence their higher ranking. The Indians coming off a huge convincing road win, check in at 4. Cambridge jumps Queen Anne's after their loss to Kent County, and Kent Island remains number 1 despite the loss. And we'll kick it over to Delaware. And outside of this top 4, there are very slim pickings. So Indian River at 3-4 replaces Woodbridge, who they just beat. Sussex Tech jumps Laurel after the Bulldogs fall to Lake Forest. And, of course, Lake Forest and Cape are still undefeated at the top of the rankings. Come on, guys. What do you have for me this week? Come on.
I feel so disappointed right now. I thought we made so much progress with Trey from the beginning of the week, and I feel like we're right back to week 1 again. It's embarrassing.
No cupcakes and no chicken noodle soup.
That's what I'm saying. Explain this to me right here, all right? Easton beats a 5-win team at home. Okay, Y-High beats a 1-win team on the road, and yet the Y-High win is more impressive than Easton's win. You know what I call it? That is Y-High math right there, and it makes no sense at all. Like, Easton clearly is better than Y-High.
I mean, we still got to learn, you know, that's what it is. And some of these teams are just ready to go to the playoffs, whether they're number 1 or number 5 in these rankings. Their mission, especially Cape, it's all about during the preseason, they've talked about wanting to get that championship trophy, and they're on their way there. And, you know, with all this high school stuff wrapped up, we take it over to some college football. Salisbury taking on Hartwick for homecoming. And earlier in the first quarter, Hartwick quarterback Billy Pine finds John Horner for the 11-yard touchdown. Hartwick went up 14-0 early in this one, but here come the Gulls. John Dunbar takes the option keeper 19 yards to the end zone. He cuts the lead 14-7, and the Seagulls gaining momentum when Ryan Kolb, look at this, zigzag his way,
nice
spins that one like you said, takes the kickoff 85 yards. He keeps going. Get out of the way, referee, because he's coming to the house. SU scores 7 touchdowns and wins a shootout on 40, and they win 59-49.
That's a lot
Couldn't
of
even
points.
get that one out.
Well, DSU was taking on North Carolina A&T for their homecoming game.
Oh.
The crowd fired up, but the Hornets, they were not so much. The block right here on the punt, it's recovered in the end zone by the Aggies for a touchdown. That made it 14-0. And then Marley Kelly back to pass, and a perfect pass to Angelo Keys. The problem is Keys plays for the other team, and he would take that thing 55 yards the other way for the score. The defense trying to provide a spark right here. Tarek Colston makes just a great play on the ball right there, comes up with the pick, and the offense eventually did start to get showing some life. Lamar Shaw able to punch this thing in from just 2 yards out, but too little too late as DSU drops that one 33-20 the final there.
And there was like a blue man in the stands. I don't know if you saw that.
I was fired up. I really like that.
Go grab that bowl of cereal. We have more highlights coming up. Boys soccer in action. James M. Bennett. Keep it locked.
This is Leon Flournoy from Easton High, middle linebacker, and you're watching the Delmo for Sports Insider.